All right, I'm going to call to order this work session for the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It's March 6, 2024. And first up, we have Planning Department, Ms. Nestor Jellin. There you are, talking to us about Chapter 807 amendments regarding signage.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, but can you zoom it out so that the width of the page fills that screen there?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so thank you for hearing this petition. This is a change to our signs ordinance. I've included in the packet both a track changes version as well as a clean copy. So I'm just going to walk through the track changes, and you can stop me at any point if you have any questions. The impetus for this signs ordinance amendment is so that we are in line with updated case law throughout the country as well as state law. So we're looking at this through the lens of making sure our ordinance is content neutral as well as only providing regulations regarding time, place, and manner. And we also wanted to make sure that we were clear on the ability to have a time restriction for us to communicate to applicants regarding when we need to give them a response after their signed permit application has been submitted. So under the purpose and intent, we've made some clarification changes. We want to make sure that we offer encouragement of certain sign types that we would like to see in the county without strict prohibition of other sign types, but just offering that encouragement to be in line with the county's rural character. Moving down, we also have added clear guidelines on how to apply for a sign permit and what is considered a complete application. We think this will be really helpful since we get a lot of applicants that are out of state or don't come into the office. Typically, they're just looking at the ordinance and applying online. So we will be able to point them to this list here to make sure that they understand what is required for a complete application. Then we added in the timing, procedure, and exemption. So under the Indiana Code, we have 12 business days for a response to a complete application. So once they apply, we need to tell them either via online if that's how they applied, or via mail if they applied via paper copy, whether their permit application can proceed or whether it's been denied. Then the final change that we made throughout the ordinance was that we were asked to add add illustrations for clarity. So we've added in illustrations that were either in prior versions of the ordinance for clarity regarding height, or we added in new illustrations regarding different sign types. So you'll see that towards the bottom of this ordinance regarding how we're able to measure a sign size without looking at the content. We just need to be clear on what the outer boundaries are of the sign. So we've added in some illustrations so that people would be able to know how we're determining the sign size. And then, as I mentioned, we have a lot of different sign types that are defined in Chapter 801, but not illustrations accompanying those. So it was a good suggestion by the Plan Commission to just go ahead and add in what those signs actually mean or what they can look like. So I'll just scroll through these fairly quickly. Okay. Do you have any questions for me on this signs ordinance amendment?
Thank you so much, Ms. Nestor Jellin. Commissioner Githens, do you have comments or questions?
No, I only had a chance just to glance through it, though I do appreciate the examples that were provided. So I need to have time to really digest it.
Commissioner Jones.
I agree with Commissioner Givens.
So a lot of this has to do with Supreme Court rulings and things related to content, and that content cannot drive a sign ordinance. And so that's why we're doing this. We're now at that point of ensuring that we mesh well with court rulings. So
Yeah, I remember wrestling with that about 10, 12 years ago.
yeah. So I appreciate the hard work on this. Thank you so much. And when do you all want to see this back on our agenda? We don't meet on the 20th. Do we want to have it on the 13th, or do you want to wait till the 27th?
Yeah.
Commissioner, is that okay with you, Ms. Nestor-Jelen, to do the 13th next week for this one?
13th works for me.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
The next item is Mr. Smith, Sean Smith at Planning, to ratify condition number 6 on ordinance 2024-04A, the Whaley PUD plan. Can you explain all of this?
Yes, so let me share my screen here. Okay, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, but once again, if you could zoom it out so that it fills the
Yes.
entirety of that black screen, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just as a reminder, the commissioners did vote for both of these ordinances, so 2024-04A and B. So the purpose of this is to ratify a condition that was added at that meeting. So that would be condition number 6, and that states storage shall be limited to the areas shown on Exhibit A and shall be limited to the types of materials listed for each of the areas on the attached Exhibit B. And then also just as a reminder that ordinance 2024-04B has already been denied at the February 28th, 2024 meeting. So this is included in the packet just for final signatures only. So Exhibit A refers to the staff report, which was read aloud at the last meeting, and then Exhibit B refers to the site plan that was provided for condition number 6. And this is after the staff report. And let me go down here. Okay, so this is Exhibit B. So this is what the petitioner or the petitioner's representative, Daniel Butler with Bynum Fanyo, has provided with staff. So let me zoom in here so we can kind of take a look at what they've got. Can the commissioner see that, or do you want me to, or is that better? Let's see if this will load. Okay. So they've got some designated areas for different types of storage. So up here, we've got additional storage container areas. So K&S roll-off empty container storage. They have noted that no vehicular storage will be in this area up here, and this is around sinkhole B, which is in the northern part of the property. Scrolling over, they've included proposed parking spaces for boat and RV storage. They've got 6 where my cursor is, 7 up here. They've also designated operational vehicle storage, so semi-truck storage areas. In this section right here, they have noted some limestone material and or construction equipment storage areas, and they've got these arrows just kind of pointing to these kind of striped areas here. Again, operational vehicles. Scrolling down here, again, the same K&S roll-off empty storage container areas. They are noting that no vehicular storage will be permitted in these areas. And then scrolling over to the sinkhole A area, we have noted that they have taken out the existing storage area, and they have relocated that to what was in the staff report for permitting storage area right outside of sinkhole A. So again, the same type of storage they are noting here. So empty storage containers, no vehicular storage, and they do have the existing Monroe County roll-off storage area, also no vehicular storage area. So do the commissioners have any questions or comments, concerns about the petitioner's submitted site plan?
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. Comments, questions? Commissioner Jones?
No, I don't.
Commissioner Githens?
The areas for the boat and RV storage, they're on concrete, right? And are they enclosed? Do you know?
So it is our understanding that they won't be enclosed. So they're not going to be put in a building. They're going to be stored outside. I believe Daniel Butler's here. Maybe he can shed some light on that. But that is our understanding.
Will it be covered or just open to the elements?
I believe that it's open to the elements. I don't believe they have proposed any sort of shelter for those spaces. If the commissioners would like Daniel Butler to speak to that to confirm, that might be appropriate.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that there's no requirement that it be stored on concrete or under cover. There's nothing requiring that. They could do that, but they don't. Under this current proposal, they do not have to do that. And that was one of the concerns I had regarding stormwater runoff, especially given the proximity to karst features. And this is going to be something that Ms. Thetonia will look at when she does her site plan review, is to look very specifically at that question in addition to the other questions. So it's something that is down the road a bit from what we're looking at today, although I think we could have a discussion about requiring cover or drainage capturing, because I do worry about things like antifreeze oil, gasoline, kerosene, other things that may leach out of boats and RVs that are being stored outdoors. If that's something that we want to tackle, I think it would be good for us to, rather than have the conversation here, to have some sort of a conversation with Ms. Thetonia first to see what concerns she may have. And then we can reach out to Mr. Smith and potentially Mr. Butler to talk about any concerns we may have. So I think that may be a better way to approach this. I don't know what you think, Commissioner Githens, about that as a proposal. We can't hear you in the Nat U Hill room.
Sorry, I had turned my mic off. I just wanted to make sure that we're not going to set stuff up so it drains into our water supply. I mean, I know what can happen. I've seen it happen with my own parents' RV, so I am concerned about it.
Mr. Smith, could we put this task on you to reach out to Ms. Thetonia to gather her concerns and how she approaches this kind of storage especially in this kind of environment, and see if she has suggestions, and then come back to us at a work session in the very near future so that we can get this done under the 90-day threshold?
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be great. And then, oh, good. Ms. Nestor-Jelen is going to chime in for us, please.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify Sean's presentation. I think he did a good job of showing sort of the amendment to 2024-4A. So the added condition was voted on, and so one of the things that we're hoping to seek your, I guess, approval on, or just making sure that we're in line with what that condition states, is that this information meets that condition and we can include that as part of the ordinance. This will be going through a development plan review by the MS4 coordinator, by planning, by highway, if this outline plan is approved. So we will be taking this as an additional step to staff level review and making sure we can add anything, shelters over the parking, RV and vehicle parking. I think that we can do that within the realm of what's allowable to ask for, if it's in the ordinance for Kelsey's ordinance, or if it's something that we can work with the petitioner on. But I don't think at this point we're looking to add any additional conditions for 2024-4A, since it's been voted on with that 6th condition. But I can ask legal if we want to reopen the conversation on the ordinance approval.
All right. I appreciate your point, Ms. Nestor-Jelen. I think we're at that juncture where I know that a lot of this goes back to development plan and it goes to staff level, and I don't think any of us want to step on toes. I think we are looking just for more information on that end of it. But I do understand that we are, looking at that part of the plan specifically that says, here's where things are going to go on the property. And that ties into this, right? So there is an overlap there. But I just want to be very clear that I don't think any of us are trying to get involved in the plan development process. That is not our place. We've got incredible staff and you all do a great job. But I think it relates to the question that is in front of us. And so we can limit the scope of what Mr. Smith looks at and brings back to us at a future work session to really just center on that question that we still have in front of us, which relates to what goes where, and that part of the question that we are responsible for. Does that make sense?
Yes, so just so we're clear on what we need to bring back in front of you. So if Mr. Smith is able to coordinate with stormwater to determine if any of those areas need any kind of covering, or if they should be moved over because of concerns, then that would be a revision to this site, Exhibit B, brought before you. Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay. Is everybody good with that? Okay. So can we bring this back for one more work session, just to make things a little, sorry to drag things out for you, but to make things a little easier for the public to understand. Is that okay? All right. Okay. All right, good. Excellent. Thank you all so much. I appreciate everyone and all of your help in planning. Thank you for all your hard work all the time. All right. So is there anyone else who has an item for the work session? Looking at Jeff and Angie.
Yep.
All right. Great. So with that, we are adjourned.